Hi everybody, it's Loretta story time. I hope you actually can hear me or see me. I'm actually walking. You know, it's kind of cold out here. I thought it said 60 degree, and I guess that was early and I waited too late. But anyway, I want to say Happy New Year to everybody. And this is actually my story time. Well, I actually was thinking about, this subject. Well, we would say title. It says, are you drinking from the same well? So it just boils down to the story about the woman at the well. And I was reading it this morning, and it reminded me of, some of the things that we actually say that we're going to make new resolutions and stop this and stop that and change this and change that. But this woman at the well, first of all, let me just give you a little story about it. And it says that Jesus came to the woman at the well. He knew exactly what time she was going to be there. So he sat on the well waiting for her. Isn't that something? A well sitting on a well? And because Jesus is the well, he's the living water, And so he was waiting for her. She shows up. And he said, give me the drink, I can imagine, first of all, she's quiet, not saying nothing. And then Jesus speaks up and says, give me to drink. Give me to drink. Give me something to drink. And she says, the Jews don't have no dealing with the Samaritans. You're a Jew and I'm a Samaritan. And she said, anyway, she said, where is, you don't even have a bucket to draw with. You don't even have a bucket to drink. Where is that living water anyway? And he said, woman, if you knew the gift of God and who it is that says, give me to drink, you would have asked him. I said, you go, Jesus, you go, Jesus. Jesus, men today think they know how to rap to a woman. Boy, Jesus knew how to throw down, didn't he? He said, woman, if you knew who I was, he said, you'd be asking me. And so she says, are you greater than our father Jacob? Who gave us the well, and his children drinks from it, and his cattle, and are you greater than him? And he says, woman, you remember when he said, woman, if you knew, okay, they made me lost my thought because these kids are passing by. I'm actually walking, okay? But anyway, and he said, so she said, well, give me that water. He said, if you knew who I was, you'd be asking me. And then he said, I'll give you the living waters that you will not have to thirst again. He said, when you come here, you're gonna be thirsty again after you drink this water. But the water that I give you, he said, well, it's a well in you, And so he was presenting himself to her, So I could imagine she had been going through these things with these men, for several years, and she probably was tired of going through the same old. So say for instance, like you actually going through something, and you may be going to think about what your well is. What do you go to? What do you actually depend on? What your dependency is? And you keep going to that same well. But Jesus was trying to get her to surrender and accept him, and then that's the satisfaction that she needed. And most of us, the satisfaction, we're looking for satisfaction in things, whether it's whatever. You just put your satisfaction in that line, I can only speak for myself. Well, so anyway, and he said, she started picking up on his line, She started perceiving something. She said, well, give me this water where I don't have to come here and draw anymore. Now that's a good point. Well, we don't have to come back and draw no more, because remember, the Lord said that he that the Son sets free is free indeed. And so when Jesus set you free, you don't have to go back to that drawing to that same old well, And I often thought about my situation. I always have a story here. I actually was, I hope I can get in the, well, there's no sun out here. It's getting darker, but it's not dark out here. It's just actually shady, I guess, where I'm actually going. Well, anyway, I actually thought about a situation with me, my story. When I was actually, thirsty for God more, I wanted more. I knew there was something more. I knew I had got saved, and I still had these same old habits and stuff, you know. But I feel like something was missing. I was still doing some of those things that we don't supposed to be doing, like most of us are probably involved in now. And so I actually said I had went to several churches, you know, looking for this thing that was missing in my life. And so I remember going to this particular church back at home, Assembly of God Church, and I went to this service one day, and Pastor David said he was preaching a message on how to get to heaven. And I said, wow, I got to sit up and hear this way, because I've been trying all kind of ways. He said, Jesus is the way. And that's what Jesus was actually telling the woman at the well. You know, I'm the way. It's not what you look with all what you've been involved in, because he told her when she asked, did she want he asked her to, she asked him for the living water. She said, so I won't have to come here and drink. And he said, go get your husband. See, he knew that she had some stuff in her life. Like sometimes we put our foot a little bit in church, a little bit here and there, you know, just enough to say we go to church. But we haven't really totally surrendered those things that we're actually holding on to. And if you surrender that to God, that's what he was trying to get her to do, because he knew her situation. She did. That's why she said she ran and left her water pot. And she said, you know, I want you to read it. It's in John, the 4th chapter. And she ran and she told the men of the city, come see a man who told me everything I ever did. Because he told her, he said, you got that right. You did admit. She did admit now. She said, I have no husband. He said, you are right. He said, you have had 5 and the one you're living with is not yours. So, wow, you know. And so that's something that happened to me. And I remember Brother David said, so many ways you have to get, you know, the people tell you how to get to heaven. He said, but it ain't but one way. It's not actually shaking a preacher's hand, walking down an aisle, you know. He said, when you get Jesus in your heart, you really ask Jesus in your heart. He said, that's the way. And Jesus will tell you what you can't do and what you can do, you know, because some churches, some religious organizations sometimes will tell you that you can't wear this, you can't do this, you can't go here. He said, just get Jesus in your heart. And a light bulb came on. And like to me, you know, like, wow. He said, just get Jesus in your heart. So I went up to him and I said, I know that I'm saved. After church was over with, I said, I know that I'm saved. I said, but it's just like something missing. And he said, well, Loretta, real sweet and kind. He said, Loretta, do you have any sin in your life that you know of? And I said, I was truthful, just like the woman at the well. I said, well, I live with someone that I'm not married to. And he said, he showed me in the Bible in Corinthians, 2 Corinthians. No, don't get all bent out of shape, because I don't know exactly where the scripture is at. I should have had it. But anyway, he said, no fornicators, no drunkards, all of this, none of that shall inherit the kingdom of heaven. And he said, I want you to go to heaven, Loretta. And he said it with such love. You know, and I said, wow, what must I do? He said, you either marry him or you get out the situation. He said, but I believe God got something better, you know, best for your life, you know. And not even, he said, we're just saying the situation, you know, best for my life. And so that, it just reminded me of myself about what the woman at the well. And so sometimes you may be going through that situation too. So you got to come up front with God, you know. He already know what you're doing. So you just got to surrender that to him. And I wanted to share that story with you. My battery, I think, kind of running out on my phone. So I wanted to get that point in. That and if it cut off, that's fine. I'm just going to kind of continue saying it. But I'm going to say this before it cut off. I want you to join me another time. The next time, story time with Loretta Davis. So anyway, and I want to say Happy New Year. But getting back to that, so anyway, and I left and I was thinking, oh wow, he said it with such a love. I should think he cared, you know, it was a careness, it was a love. And sometimes I think about, you know, how we condemn people. Sorry about that. Sometimes we condemn people the way they are, what they're doing and all of that, you know. But he didn't condemn me. He just said, you know, I want you to go to heaven, you know. And I left with, wow, you know, he cared about me going to heaven. I should care about myself. And then the Lord took me on that journey of walking and and He started purifying me, and He started working on me. Not to say, and I'm gonna say this, I didn't totally get out that same day. Just when they packed my stuff and left, the Lord took me step by step. And so, excuse me, this wind blowing all over me. But anyway, just wanted to share that with you, and I hope that bless you. Until next time, join me with Story Time with Loretta Davis. I should have turned this way. Oh, that's better. Okay. Anyway, but I'm actually walking backwards, so I better look where I'm going. And well, until next time, join me with Story Time with Loretta Davis. Thank you, and God bless you.